Hello, hello. Welcome back to another morning of choring. Same story as last time. I'm just, killing time before I go off to lash myself to a desk. Hoping we can, get another one of these daily challenges here. He's hitting the wrong button. There we go. Okay. Throw myself in defensive mode there, just in case. So, what do we have on tap? Poor badgers. Story missions completed, provisions cooked at campfire. Look at those. So where would a nearby campfire be? I think there's one in Manzanita, actually. Just say howdy to that, other player while simultaneously grabbing Klaus. Thanks, whistling mechanic. So I'll just see if I can cook 5 provisions of some kind. And then, I don't know, maybe we have time for a quick story mission to knock that one out too. So it looks like anything in this category counts as a provision. What do I have a lot of? Sure. Let's do one of those. Some nice plain venison. Just put that in my pocket for later. And one of these. Main game should be good. There's an awful lot of rustling around behind me in the dark. Possibly being shut down. Okay then. I believe that is toxic moonshine they are now throwing at me. What a joy. Oh, there's a tarot card around here somewhere though. Lovely. Well, I suppose it's a good thing I put myself in defensive mode for that little ambush. Not sure exactly why people think teaming up 3-on-1 against people at 7 o'clock in the morning is such a great idea, but sure. Back to our provision cooking. In Red Dead, much like in the real world, you have to deal with your fair share of aggression. It's quite unfortunate. Luckily there's coffee. let's do one more meet. I think we had something else that was at 15. There we go. I think this should do it. Alright, got my goal. Just that simple sometimes. Double check that they didn't hurt Klaus. Anyway. The poor dear. He's looking good. Alright. So I think the only other one that might be easy to get in the time I have remaining is potentially a story mission. Let's see if it'll let me quick join one. And hopefully it will bring you along for the ride here. We'll see what we get in the luck of the draw. So I'm joining a story mission on call, which basically means that someone else has already manually started one or is in the process of completing the available online story missions themselves. And I will jump in as a secondary gun hand, is the idea. So I think there's about a dozen or so missions available at this point for various people, now that Maggie Fike is on the scene. And I am very much hoping that it will keep my mic private. I don't really want to confer with the other team members, though that may be selfish. I'll have to see. I've never broadcast an official story mission before, so hopefully we can figure this out. Looks like it's just searching for one more player, and then it should allow us to hit ready here. I am guessing. There we go. Ready. Sniper rifle into the mix, just in case. All right, I will let Mrs. Leclerc and her gentleman's gentleman, Horley, take it from here. After this brief loading intermission.
I'm so glad you came. Thank you.
It seems your efforts have not been entirely in vain, but have produced some rather surprising results. Well, not surprising, but...
Confusing. Confusing. After castigating me as a widow, a harlot, a fool, a mad woman, anything and everything. Suddenly, shortly after we killed his brother-in-law, Amos Lansing wants to talk. He sent word via an intermediary.
Mr. Jones.
Even that crazy old fool said not to trust any of it.
Which is why we need you. You're to help keep Mrs. Leclerc protected during the meeting at Blackwater.
I shouldn't imagine they would kill us in broad daylight, but you never know. I never imagined they'd kill my husband, nor turn me into a fugitive. Anyway, friends, shall we go? Today may go any number of ways. But I want to make sure once the shooting starts, all of them end up dead.
One of you drive the wagon, the other keep guard.
Thank you. All of you. This means... well, it means something. I don't know exactly what yet, but...
I don't think any of us think Mr. Lansing has become a saint, madam, but perhaps we should hear him out.
Perhaps.
Would you kindly take us to Blackwater?
All right. Back in control now. Let me just check this.
I do confess, this is the most strange point.
Genuinely not sure if my voice is broadcasting to the team here. My apologies if so.
Is that all you want?
Let's just see. When we get there, you decent folk can stay by my side. Or you can look over the meeting from some vantage point. Remember, this is not just the man who killed my husband. He, his wife, and their
But we are headed back into the town of Blackwater that you saw yesterday on a mission of vengeance. Take up a position on the roof here.
Of course. Very good, Mr. Lansing.
Hide up on the roofs or stay down here.
Won't that be nice?
Sure we don't get killed.
Just make sure if we do get killed, everyone dies.
No, just make sure we aren't both killed.
Come along, Mr. Hawley. Good luck. And thank you.
Hey, you gonna move? They're here! I gotta go!
Take this. I'll be back.
This is sure to go well.
Well, hello, darling.
Good to see you, Mr. Lanson.
You too. Jessica! How lovely to see you. Why, it's been
A long time? No, it hasn't. Not compared with all eternity.
Oh, Jessica, I miss Philip every day. It's awful what happened to him. Quite terrible, but you seem... My dear, you seem under the misapprehension that I had something to do with his demise.
You, your wife, or your business partner, at least one of you did, and your brother-in-law. But he's dead.
Well, he was a bad man. I'm glad he was killed.
Sure. It cleans up your mess, doesn't it?
You don't seem quite well, my dear.
I'm not. I am destroyed with grief.
Oh, of course. Yeah, life can be terrible, but... Well, there is a business matter that we need to discuss.
Oh, sure there is.
Well, you see, he and I had an agreement. In the event one of us died, the other took control of the business in exchange for a nominal sum.
Beard oils.
You lie, sir.
You signed last year. The document lies with Mr. Shaw there. He also has your money, $500.
My husband's property was worth 100 times that. You thief! You murderous thief!
Madam Leclerc, I will ask you to watch your manners. I have good standing in this town.
Oh, you do you?
I am a man of impeccable morality.
Oh, well, then you have little to fear of death. You god-awful swine!
Oh no. His mystical morality is splashed all over him.
Get them all!
Get away from me, damn it!
Okay, let me get behind you.
We need you down here! More men are coming!
I need those papers from Mr. Shah.
I'll go after it, if you can find us a way out of here.
Of course. I'll go back for the wagon.
Okay. I need some of you to go with me to chase down Shaw, and some of you to stay with Mrs. LeClerc.
All right.
Make your choices, quick.
Move on in!
I guess I'm going with Mrs. LeClerc.
I've got it better!
We have to get back to the wagon. Come on. Get there.
They don't keep thirsty in American county.
Come on. We'll go up here. Past the photographer and right.
Mammy's the law around here.
Right again.
There's a lot of reloading.
Over there.
Or a large chamber, as the case may be. That it? Anyone else want hot steel in the eye socket?
The wagon. There. Let's go.
Stay down, ma'am. We're not out of this yet. Shoot them when you see them.
Amos Lansing's dead. So these men are working for someone.
He may be dead, but his money isn't. Stay down, my lady.
I'm down, all right. Be careful, Hawley.
Careful as we can be.
Surely that is the last of them.
I believe it might be.
Thank the Lord for that. Keep going to the north of here. That is not quite how Amos or any of those fools expected that parlay to work itself out. There we were, looking to find him and have our revenge. And he came right to us.
That he did, ma'am. But I think we would all have liked to know you were going to shoot him beforehand. Ma'am?
I didn't
Ruin
know
the
it
surprise.
myself until the moment it was done. What a fool Amos was. A man's presumptions about women. They can be their undoing, Hawley.
Indeed.
Did Jeremiah Shaw send those men after us?
No, I believe they were working for Mr. Lansing. I'm pretty sure this feud ended when you put a bullet in him.
I'm pretty sure it's up to the grieving widow and the folk here who were condemned wrongfully to die to say when the feud is over, Mr. Hawley.
Quite right, Maggie. Quite right, of course. I was only...
Well, don't. When I want your advice, I shall ask for it. And I have not asked, have I?
You haven't.
It's been a long day. Tensions are high. We understand. Pardon me?
Up there. Stop the wagon just ahead.
This is a good spot. Pull up. I'll take it from here. Here are the documents, madam. They were forged.
Of course they were forged.
Here.
I don't need to see them.
No, I don't suppose you do. Although there's
There's Grace Lansing, but she will have to wait. And also, we have to decide how we're gonna clear all our names and extricate ourselves from the mess we have uncovered.
Not sure the state authorities take too kindly to revenge killings, madam.
No, I'm sure they don't. But that's a problem for another day.
Much obliged.
Because right now, that little plot is over. And my husband has been avenged. My friends, my true friends. I owe you more than words can say. Thank you. And should our paths cross again, and, well, I'm sure they may. But right now, I need to make myself scarce. And I recommend that you all do your best not to get into too much additional trouble. That's your business. My poor husband, he deserves so much better than this, but this is what he got. This is what we all got.
Drive on, Mr. Hawley.
All right. So hopefully I'll be loading back into a normal session here. And I have a few more minutes before I might need to run off to the desk. I'm wondering if perhaps you may have noticed the massive, warm-looking fur coat that I'm currently wearing. It was, over Christmas and New Year's, snowing all over the world in Red Dead Online. And so I was dressed accordingly to combat the winter chill. But now that the snow has passed, I think it's time to change out of that rather large coat. Alright. So where did Klaus end up? He's coming over the bridge. Cushioned dream. We must be somewhat near Strawberry at this point. I think there's a general store there. Yes, let's try it. Go give myself a bit of a makeover, and then we'll call that good. Alright, this is the lovely town of Strawberry in the state of West Elizabeth. known for its fine woodwork and designs. There's somebody yawing off in the distance again. So I just want to jump into the general store, which I believe is this red building here. Hitch my horse up front.
Good morning.
All right.
Doesn't seem like I've seen you before. Welcome. I know it's a
Oh,
lot,
that's very
but I
kind.
really do. I'm always here
Yeah,
if
goodbye.
you need anything.
That was the biggest disappointment of his day. I just need to use your wardrobe round back. My apologies. Didn't mean to get you all excited there. Okay, so what should we be wearing for a little a late winter spring revival? Let's say no coat. And let's say rolled sleeves. Sure. And switch out the vests. Perhaps for this paisley. Oh, that's lovely. We have a paisley vest. Let us open our shirt collar. Ooh, risque. And no gloves. Thanks much. My little broadcasting bar that shows me how many viewers and stuff is in a rather unfortunate location right over this left-hand menu. At the moment, I will need to fix that later. So my apologies for all the fumbling. I'm trying to see around myself. Okay, that should be fine. We'll leave the glasses on. Yeah. All right. Now we're not dressed for quite as much of a blizzard. I am now just noticing, too, this is probably silly of me, but his mouth actually moves when I speak. And I did not know that. That's quite a fun detail. So it is as though he is speaking, I suppose. Okay, what do we got here? I have about 15 minutes. I am curious if I could slip a bounty hunt in. See if there's anything simple looking. Sure. Let's try that. All right, go to the shack. So, much like moonshining, oh, pardon me, much like moonshining, there's a bounty hunting quest line or job path, whatever you want to call it. I think they call them frontier pursuits, to use the correct parlance. And so there's like 1 through 20 ranks of each of those: moonshining, bounty hunting, there's collecting and trading at the moment. So this is the bounty hunter role I am now engaging in. And I just grabbed a poster from the local sheriff's bounty board, and I'm out looking for that person. It's taken us up around, let me stop so I don't careen off a cliff. This over there is Mount Shah, which is sort of an epicenter of strangeness for this game, sort of similar to the way that Mount Chiliad was, but not near as infamous. There are some things up there on Mount Sean that are still being figured out. It'll only take us, 7 years, something like that. So it looks like we are skirting around Mount Sean from the town of Strawberry into a place called Big Valley, which you can see down there between these two, the snow-peaked mountain and Mount Sean is this gorgeous, green, vibrant valley. So this is probably my favorite actual location in the game. Like if I had to build a summer home, this would be the spot. All this open space for hunting and fishing and who knows what else. Game of horseshoes? So I'm guessing the shack in question isn't much further at this point. But let me check the map. Wow. Okay. I should not have changed out of that big coat, as it turns out. This is a very inconvenient bounty location. So this is not in Big Valley, as I had hoped. It is actually taking me all the way clear up into the Grizzlies, up in the state of Amberino, which is the blizzardy, snowy state. And you do actually lose health slowly, or rather you lose the ability to regenerate health slowly when you're in cold weather unprepared, aka without a coat. So this whole bounty mission I will be losing my ability to regenerate health. We're just gonna have to deal with that. It's also much further than I may be able to make in 15 minutes, but okay. That's what curveballs are for. So when you're up in the Grizzlies, there's the high potential for wolf ambush, not to mention flat-out grizzly ambush. This, I believe, is the bounty wagon, where if I can capture the bounty target alive, I will bring him back to that bounty wagon for transport, is likely the idea. So it's about to get awful cold up in here. Makes me wonder if I have any coated outfits. I do. There we go. Okay. Pause my horse. There. Okay, back in the coat. Now I won't be losing health. I'll just make it easier. It is a lovely area up here, though. When you are all warm and snuggled, very much fun to visit. This, I believe, is Lake Isabella, partially frozen over here. Your horse also goes just a little bit slower in snow, probably realistically. So you can occasionally feel that sensation like you just got off of driving on a highway and now you're in a residential area and it just feels ooh. But we'll get past that. Just have to cross this little river here, and then I think we've finally made it. 2 rivers, I suppose. These can occasionally be more of an investigative, sort of like actual look for the bounty, where they have fled or whatever, or sometimes it's just a big group of guys defending the bounty. Looks like this is a big group of guys. So let's get Klaus out of the firing line there. We'll go ahead on foot. And we'll just take care of this. That's not a good angle. Okay, fine. I don't know which one of those is the guy. I'm guessing it's that guy running. Just in case it is.
You're gonna meet your mate.
Go ahead and hog tie him now.
No.
There we go. Now I'm hoping I can kill the rest of them without consequence. No, thank you. Get down. I said get down. Okay.
Damn it, all the hell!
Well, you're just gonna have to wait, sir.
Help! Help!
I'll call Klaus in. Get a little loot while we're at it.
You son of a bitch!
So the trickiest part of these usually is just keeping an eye on who is the actual target. It's very, very easy to just get off a quick headshot and then regret it for about 20 minutes later. So I'm glad that did not happen. Also, as gruesome as it is, the blood effects up here in the snow, chef's kiss.
Damn it, all the hell!
Oops. He struggled free. There we go.
Jesus! Get these damn ropes off.
Occasionally, if you take too long looting everyone, they can get free of their bonds there. So we may have a few more of his friends try to interfere with us on the way back to the bounty wagon, but hopefully not much. I will try to be quick, just to show you the handoff sequence, and then I will need to run. But I'm so glad we got to try one of those. Oh, that's slippery.
Who do you think you are, tying me up?
I really don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. I wish that I did.
Hell
Very occasionally they will try to struggle out of their bonds while they're on horseback. Sort of a tuck and roll situation. But if you hit them in the face brutally, as I just did, they stop struggling and then you can continue. So pardon my brutality, just trying to prevent escape there. But I'm sure that's what they all say. Villains. There's some guys chasing us finally. Let's take a brief intermission.
I'll make you suffer!
Hell,
Okay. Pardon me. Touch more of the old ultra-violence there.
damn it, all the
Stop
hell!
struggling. It'll be better for your complexion if you just stop. I should have more thoroughly read the poster to see what this guy is accused of doing. That sometimes helps with the motivation to brutally strike them across the face. But occasionally it's just like, I stole a bread roll to live, and then you're like, oh man, this is not cool.
I sure hope this ain't one for talking, 'cause I ain't in the mood. Here, don't be a stranger.
Fairly certain that's Brandon Boone. What a coincidence. Alright. Part of a gold bar, 2150 richer. And out of the snow. I will call that a success. Let me just get down the hill here into my favorite Big Valley area. And then I will quit out so that when I come back in next time, I will be in my favorite area. What a pleasure that will be. All right. In the beautiful verdant fields. And what a way to end it. There we go. Straight through the windshield. I am so sorry, Klaus. You all right, buddy? Here, have some health food. I got that for you at the health store. And I'll pat you. And I'll give you your brushes. There we go. All right. Now it's time. It's time to wave. There we go. We finally figured it out. Goodbye for now, from me and Klaus, from beautiful Big Valley. See you next time.